All right, we're streaming, Jerry.
Thanks, Joe. Hi, my name is Jerry Barberio. I'm the village manager for the village of Mamaroneck. I have been tasked with managing with the help of some of our staff here, Joe Marcel from the IT department, as well as Neri Rubinales from the manager's office, to hold this public forum regarding police reform and reinvention, which is a plan that's required to be submitted by the Board of Trustees to the governor's office in April 2021. We have a little bit of a format here. It's very simple, actually. When I call your name, and I do need to know your name instead of just your phone number or any other text, please put your name in on the attendees list so that I can call your name out. Please introduce yourself and maybe let us know how long you've been living in the village of Mamaroneck. This public forum is being broadcast. It's being recorded. Transcript is also being produced in our Zoom cloud, and it's live streamed on LMC's YouTube channel. And we want to thank LMC for all their assistance throughout this entire pandemic, but more importantly, to get the word out for this very important initiative. Everyone will be permitted to speak for 3 minutes. After 3 minutes, we will move on to the next caller or the next attendee. So as I said before, the Board of Trustees is tasked with providing the governor's office a police reform and reinvention plan, which has very specific guidelines. A couple of simple ones are that a committee has to be assembled and that there must be several public forums. There'll be 2 public forums. It'll be one this evening and one on December 10 next week. In addition to that, the January, February, and March meetings of the Board of Trustees, there will be some communication to the board where people can speak about police reform and their ideas and their opinions. The Executive Order 203 outlines very detailed information, which I will not bore anyone with. But what we do have on our website under boards, we have a police reform and reinvention committee that's been put together. And if you visit our website, we have a dedicated webpage for all of the information that's shared with the board, as well as making sure that we share that with the public. So I can move on to the first caller, the first individual. So what I ask you to do is use the raise your hand feature. And if you raise your hand, I will be sure to call you. I do see a phone number here. If you can change that phone number to an actual name, this way I can call upon you if you want to speak. So far, I don't see anyone's hand raised.
Yeah, me neither. I got one.
Oh,
Two.
I see here.
There we
Okay. We'll start off with Theodora Saul.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for calling on me. I just wanted to say that it seems reasonable that anybody who would like to be part of this event should be entitled to be anonymous, and that speaking out about perhaps a personal experience with a village police officer, knowing that there are officers and even I assume the chief present, could be inhibiting, and we want open information as much as possible, I assume. So I would request that people be permitted to not use or show their names when they request to speak. Thank you.
Theodora, I understand that. I'm not sure if everyone feels that way, but I do respect that opinion. If and the reason I'm responding to Theodora, and I will not be responding to any many other individuals, is because she is a committee member. But I will, I need to identify people. And so I need to just call out their name. I understand what you're saying, but we're not set up to keep them from having their name displayed. Joe, can you eliminate the display while still showing it to me, or still having?
So the other attendees cannot see other attendees' names unless, I mean, to my knowledge, that's how we have it set. If you can see other attendees' names, please let me know, Theodore.
Okay, I see you and Jerry. If anybody can see me, that would be a good clue. If the person who speaks after me might volunteer whether they could see that it's me.
Yeah. So just to, so the only people that can see you is Jerry and I.
Okay.
And I can.
Anybody who, and Mayor Tom Murphy. Other than that, anyone who is an attendee, which would be anybody joining this meeting other than Jerry, Tom, and I. Nobody else can see you.
So what I can do is I can just use your initials. I can call, if you have your hand raised, I can call on you and just use your initials. And this way that'll be something where I can identify the person that I'm calling on, but we can keep them anonymous. I think that works.
I think that's good. And if somebody wants to identify themselves when they speak, of course, they could go ahead and do that.
Of course, yeah, great.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank
That
you.
makes sense.
Next person I see with their hand raised has the initials EY.
Yep.
Go ahead, Miss EY.
If your initials are EY, please go ahead.
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. I would like to, I guess, ask for clarification on something and also relay some feedback I had heard. What I had heard from someone not from our village was that they were a person of color who was passing through, was warned that they might receive extra police scrutiny. I found that a very disturbing piece of feedback. Secondly is I'm still trying to get a better understanding of police, I guess, responsibilities. And one of the things that I had heard is something called no special duty. So I want to know if that is how it is applied here. Do we have a special duty for police to respond to all, to everyone in the community, or is there a more, or is there a different understanding which I had come across is that there's no special duty, so there is a lot of I guess there's a lot of discretion that can be used. So I'd like to have a clarification on that before we could really speak on police duties.
Ms. EY, this is set up so that you can make your comments and provide your opinions.
Okay.
It's not
So
set up so that
yeah. So my
I can't.
concern is with the no special duty clause that I think is found in almost all police union contracts is my understanding. Yeah, and also I can see my name up. I was also able to see Theodora's name when I was listening in earlier.
You can see who's speaking. Okay.
I have never heard of no special duty clause, but I will ask about it.
Sure.
Okay, next person has the initials NR.
Yep.
Mr. NR, did you intend to make a comment, or are you just raising your hand to see if it works?
Yeah, hello, good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Neri Abinalis. I am the assistant to the Police Reform Committee. I graduated from American High School in 2019. I'm currently a Mercy College student. I'm majoring in legal studies, minoring in English. And what I want to do with that degree is go to law school and hopefully become a politician later on in the future. But I was born and raised in the village of Mamaroneck, and yeah.
Thank you, sir.
You might want to rethink that politician thing in the village of Mamaroneck. But thank you.
Okay, next caller has the initials TS, or I just saw the hand go away. Oh no, here's the hand back up.
Jerry, it's still me. We can see people's names on the screen.
I'm not sure how I know how to control that, Theodora.
Yeah, did you see the last person? It should be disabled now. Anyone not sharing a video, their name should not be displaying.
Let's try.
Yeah.
The next caller has the initials ST. Go ahead, Miss ST.
Sorry, I still have to learn how to use mute and unmute. This
good.
is Sharon. We all typed in our names and that's why it's popping up. So I would suggest with the directions in the future, you just state that if you don't want your name to show, to type something else in. We individually control what shows up as our name on Zoom.
All right. Thanks, Sharon.
Okay.
The next caller has the initials GV. Go ahead, Miss GV.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. I wanted to say I've lived in the village for 63 years, and over the years I've had many occasions to deal with Mamaroneck Police Department. And I will tell you that they have always been extremely responsive, wonderful in case of emergencies. I would never imagine a better treatment or a better response. I could never criticize anything about these people and their duty. They have always been on the ball. The anomaly that has happened in my life that I want to be aware of and be addressed has been an issue which I know that you are aware of, but I'll tell, basically it had been my experience over a lack of code enforcement and an issue where me as a resident is being pitted against a business owner because the business owner is violating the code and that's been a problem. This has been, I'm not trying not to include their name, but they have brought tractor trailers to their property. It's a residential neighborhood that they abut, and it was very noisy. That's involved me having to try for 2 years in this constant battle with this business person who is not a resident. I've had to call the police department. I have been told that it's only an idling issue. There are many other codes in the village that don't allow this to happen. And it continued. I felt very much pitted against this person because every time I called the station, I had to call back and call back and call back multiple times in one evening. I eventually gave it up and started to call the mayor and calling the village manager because I was told that they couldn't do anything about it. There were no signs on the streets. Even though I kept saying there are codes in these violations, they were not being upheld. But then what brought me to really be frightened, and I didn't like this feeling, because it's only representative of one business and one issue in my life, and I'm not going to taint the whole police department on that ever. But the lack of enforcement and the favoritism towards the businesses over the residents is a very frightening experience for a resident because the police are in a position of power. I sat at a meeting. I was in the courthouse talking about this issue, and an officer came out of the station on duty in uniform, sat up on the dais and proceeded to cut me off and talk about the praises of this business owner. That was completely intimidating and really an ethics violation during business hours and in uniform, and to cut me off. The message was clear. The business owner mattered and I didn't. And I've had meetings with the village manager, and I thank you for that. And I thank you for the trustee that attended, and the police chief. and I know you did your best, and it's still over these years. This will continue periodically. It hasn't stopped. So that feeling of code enforcement and fairness to everybody extends not only in behavior, because of color or age or any other kind of discrimination. The code itself being enforced needs to be enforced across.
All right, that's 3 minutes, by the way.
Favoritism. All right, I thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next caller has the initials RS. Mr. RS, unmute your mic when you can.
Jerry, I'm getting a message when trying to enable RS's microphone that says the allow to talk is not available because RS is using an older version of Zoom.
Okay.
That's just
RS, maybe you can call in with a phone number, because I'm going to also call on individuals that are using their what look like cell phones calling in, provided that they raise their hand. So Mr. RS, if you can hear me, try to call in from a different device, and we'll get back to you.
How do they raise their hand if they're calling in from a phone? Can they do that?
I think there's a feature, Mayor, on the phone.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Next person who's raised their hand, their initials are ER. Miss ER, go ahead.
I'm just testing the system because I can't see anybody, and I don't know if you can see me.
Now, do you see the Village of Mamaroneck seal? That's all that's being displayed right now.
Okay, all right, just testing it then. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have 33 people attending. We don't have any other hands raised.
not seeing any.
So we'll just wait a few.
Okay.
If I see another hand, we'll call on that person. Okay, we have a Mamaroneck resident raise their hand. Go ahead. Unmute. We can hear you.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Thanks.
Yes. My name is Jerry Fraioli. I'm Harbor Heights, Mamaroneck resident all my life. I want to thank the Village of Mamaroneck Police Department. They have been unbelievable in all their services. I know there's a lot of unrest about the police department out here. I know you'll resolve it. I know we'll all work together, but I want to tip my hat to the police. It's a job that is a thankless job. These guys risk their life for us, been to my house for ambulances, and they protect us. And I just want to say that I thank the police. Okay, as a taxpayer, I'm glad they're here for us. And I hope you guys resolve this, and I will pass the baton.
Thank you very much.
Can I just make a comment there? I don't want anybody to think that this is an exercise directed at the Village of Mamaroneck Police Department. This is an exercise that is directed at every police department in New York State, mandated by Governor Cuomo. I think every police department in the world, every government in the world, every school district in the world can stand improvement. And if there are ways that we can improve this and make better, that's what we're here for. This isn't about singling out our police department or any other police department for special scrutiny. I just want to make that clear.
Okay, Mr. RS, I see your hand is raised again.
I'm getting that same error, Jerry.
Same error? Okay. And then we have, so Mr. RS, if you can, I'm going to see if I can get you a phone number. If I can find it on my cell phone and send you a phone number, I'll send you a phone number. We have another hand raised. It's either the same Mamaroneck resident or a different person calling themselves Mamaroneck resident. Go ahead.
You're still muted. Can you unmute your mic?
Hi, this is Jerry. You got me?
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah, so thank you, Mayor Murphy. I appreciate your input. Yes, I realize that Como is the one that made this a mandatory meeting. I don't agree with Como. He should live up to his own problems. I think this is a Mamaroneck issue, and this purpose of this meeting is to make Mamaroneck a friendly village, which it is, and to support our police. I know he's given you a mandate, but Mamaroneck is a great place to live. I don't think we have a problem. I think we need to address this as a community and be strong as a community and work together to make Mamaroneck the friendly village. Okay, Como is his own thing. Let's separate Como from Mamaroneck. That's my point. Como is political. Let's be with Mamaroneck the friendly village. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. RS, I just emailed you the call-in phone number. If you can try to call in, we can get you. As of right now, we have 35 attendees. I don't see anyone with their hand up. You see anyone, Joe, with their hand up?
No, it would. Yeah, I get a notification.
Okay, so first initial is M. Raise their hand. Go ahead and unmute and speak. You have 3 minutes. Hi, we can hear you now. We should be able to hear you.
Yeah. Hi.
You are unmuted.
Your mic is enabled. Can you try talking? I'm going to lower her hand, Jerry.
Yeah, lower hand, see if we can redo that. We have another hand raised.
Hey, Jerry,
Yeah,
I have Robert Stark, the RS on the line. He called me. I'm going to put him on speakerphone so that he can speak to the panel. Is that okay?
yes.
Okay, hold on. Hey, Robert?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
We
I
can
think
hear you.
everybody can hear you now.
Okay, I have two things. One, I think it's important that anyone who's on that committee view the Board of Trustees meeting a year or year and a half ago when Jarrett addressed the committee about the incident in Pig Park. Maybe Jarrett can set that up so that everyone can see it. It was a very unpleasant experience to watch that. And I'm hoping that people can see that that's not the police department. That was the actual Board of Trustees that I don't think dealt with his issue admirably. The second thing is I want to read what it says in the, hold on a second. I can't find it. But if you look at the plan that the state is asking each community to do, it talks about questioning the procedures, the manuals, the policies that the police department does. It seemed to me that at the last hearing, the questions that Ms. Saul was asking the police department and the village for information pertaining to those things, she was not getting appropriate responses. I thought that was not in accordance with the goal of this committee. I think more information should be forthcoming. I do support the police. I support the residents. I'm not here to criticize anybody, but I do think there are certain issues that can be improved, and we need to be honest and open in order to address them. That's all I have to say.
Okay, just as a point of order, all of the policies and procedures were given to members of the panel.
I'm glad to hear that.
Mhm. Thanks, Mr. RS. Thanks for getting through. Very determined. Okay, we have a hand raised by Mamaroneck resident. I think it's the same one. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Unless you raised his hand. Okay. Lowered his hand.
Yeah, he can unmute himself. I guess I'll lower his hand. I'll lower his hand.
Okay. We have 37 attendees. I don't see any hands raised yet. We're a patient group. Mamaroneck resident raised his hand again.
Sorry.
Go ahead. If you unmute, we can hear you.
There you go.
Sorry about that. I was
okay.
trying to lower my hand. I apologize. Sorry, guys.
Okay, I know we've had a few new attendees since I did the initial announcement, but I do want to continue to direct the residents of the village to visit our dedicated webpage under the Police Reform and Reinvention Committee, which is on the village website under boards and committees. And you'll be able to find a lot of the information that we've shared with the board, with the committees, with the committee to be able to read on your own what they are also reading as well. Do not see any hands up, so. I'll give myself 3 minutes.
Okay, you know what? Somebody just texted me a comment
Go ahead.
and they want to
3 minutes,
remain
Mayor.
anonymous.
Mayor, you got 3 minutes if you want to read it.
Okay, I'm sending this comment along, but I wish to remain anonymous. My concern is that there are several village police officers who post on their personal social media pages and in some cases in some private social media sites, inflammatory commentary that does not seem becoming of a police officer. If some of us see our village officers posting information that would be potentially construed as anti-BLM or racist in nature, etc., how can we feel safe bringing forth issues? It seems there's a lot of work to do to bring this community together in light of the political division that exists. I'm in support of all of our public servants, including our police force, but would like to ensure that it is a safe place for all. And that was the anonymous comment.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it's not anonymous to me.
I understand. we don't have any more comments or I do want to thank, I think I counted 8 committee members who are attending, and I appreciate that because this is a difficult, it takes a lot of time out of people's week. We have multiple meetings. This week we'll have this and an additional meeting, and next week we'll have 2 or 1 or 2 meetings. So there's a meeting, at least 1 each week. And I want to thank and let the committee members on this call, including the mayor, know that it's a big time commitment. I really appreciate their time and their dedication to that, to this committee. I don't see anyone else who's raising their hand. So I have to assume that there's no one that wants to make a comment, that everyone who's listed as an attendee just wants to listen in. So I might call this meeting in a few minutes.
Jerry, you got a hand?
Oh, thanks.
ER?
Okay, Miss ER. Unmute. There you go.
Hi.
Hi,
This
I can hear you.
Elsa Rubin again. I think this was a good exercise. However, it was a short notice and most people didn't know about it. And that's why we didn't have the response that we were expecting. But I guess that by December 10th, there will be more notices and more people will participate. And I, on my side, would make an effort to notify everybody that I know. And I expect that the other members of the committee will do the same.
Thank you. Yeah, and so what we're doing here, as many people know, we have a part-time public information officer here at the village, and we're just getting back from the Thanksgiving holiday. So we're really pushing ahead. We're trying to continue on with the initiatives of the committee, and they have they're aware of that because they've seen the emails coming from me today, as well as we will put this out as a blast and try to use every social media platform that we can to be able to push this out. So thank you very much, Ms. ER. So before I close out the meeting, if someone wants to communicate with us, they can email me, and I will assure you and promise you that your identification will remain anonymous, and that if you want me to share your comments and your opinions with the committee, I can do so. So you can email me. You can find my email on the village website, and no one else reads my email except me. So you will remain anonymous. I promise that, and I'll be able to forward that information to the committee. So with that, I want to thank everyone for attending. So we have one more
hand up.
One more hand up. Just got in under the wire. Miss TS.
Everyone knows my name now. It's Theodora again. Hi. So I'm not sure that it was very clearly publicized that our next public comment meeting is December 10th at 7 p.m. And I think that people did feel, and I heard from other people who felt that this was very short notice and they did not receive a lot of notice. I also think that some of the notice ought to be in Spanish. and much more widely publicized. I think it's extremely important that those of us on the committee, police officers, non-police officers, have a sense of what the community feels and thinks about the various issues. And the issues are contained in the booklet from the governor that is on the village website. But we have not heard from people about any about most substantial issues or issues of substance, such as the question that was asked about what police should be and should not be permitted to do in their private lives. What level of transparency should there be? Should the police be required to publicize number of arrests divided by age, race, neighborhood? Should there be use of force reports that are available to the public and disciplinary reports available? And I would like to know what people think about how discipline within of police officers, if there are occasions to discipline police officers, how that whether that should be done by internally through the police department or whether that should be a civilian review. And these are questions that are raised in the booklet and in other literature that accompanies that booklet on the state website regarding these mandatory committees to reinvent the police. So while we try not to have a purely disparaging committee, and there's a lot of good that our police do, there has to be change. That's what the governor has mandated, and that's how our committee, including the former lieutenant, now chief, has made very clear that, and these meetings are available, you can watch them on YouTube, that change is happening. And if we don't hear from the community as to how those changes should look, it's going to happen. And I think we can all benefit from people's personal opinions and, more than anything, people's personal experiences with the Village of Mamaroneck Police. Because if there are problems, let's fix them. If there are small issues, let's tweak them. If there are bigger issues, well, maybe we have to have more training. This is all available. But if we don't know what people feel, what they want, and most importantly, what they have experienced, we're going to have trouble going forward in the way that would be most efficient and effective. Thank you very much.
Right on time. Thank you. I have a caller. Her initials are SP.
Hi, Jerry. It's Shannon Purdy. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Outstanding. Hi there, folks. I'm here tonight representing One Mamaroneck. As many of you probably know, we are a POC-led local anti-racism nonprofit that is working hard to enact meaningful change in the school district, but also in the larger community. And just to sort of follow on to what Theodora was just saying, would very much love to make a concerted effort before the December 10th meeting to gather some meaningful feedback via a survey of some sort from, you know, the POC folks in the community. I'm thinking, you know, in particular, the younger folks who, you know, have perhaps not had the opportunity to learn about this task force, to learn about tonight's meeting or the December 10th meeting. So I wonder whether either via this task force or via the village, whether there's going to be any kind of formal survey, and if not, if we could perhaps help in creating one.
We're working on a survey, and it'll be up to the committee to do to decide on the final version of the survey. And I can't exactly say if the committee has agreed to send the survey out, but I think they have. I just can't recall my notes right now. But there will be a discussion at a meeting probably this week regarding the survey.
Good news. Excellent. Yeah, no, just know that we'll be ready to help get that out as broadly and quickly as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have another attendee, Miss M.A. Go ahead and unmute. Go ahead, Miss M.A. Unmute your mic.
Got it. Hi, my name is Maria Amado. I'm a Mamaroneck resident for the last 28 years.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good.
My question is how to get the police officers to do their job offering safety to the residents and not terrorize them. I have a case with a relative that was in 2018 in the winter. He was coming from work from New York City with his bike by Fenimore Road. But suddenly he was stopped by a police car with two agents came out asking him so many questions about why he's riding his bike. You know, it was like 9:30 p.m. Why he's riding his bike in Fenimore, what's his name, where he's coming from, where he lives. They want everything. So, and then two other patrols car. Finally, he has like a 4 patrols car around him. And I was expecting him at home for dinner and he didn't, you know, I was concerned. But then he arrived like at 11:30 and he told me the story. And I said, why you didn't call me? And he told me, if I move, probably they shot me and they kill me. He was terrorized. And I was very concerned and I asked different neighbors. I walk around next day and they told me that the police always stop Latinos. And I didn't make any complaint because I was so upset that I said, this is gonna be a big issue and I don't want to have any problem here, but it's past 2 years already, I'm still upset. Because, he was very scared about that. He's a young professional man, that do everything okay. And I think he doesn't deserve that treatment by the police.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Jerry?
Mm-hmm.
I think perhaps at the next meeting of the committee, we should talk about, one of the topics should be whether we should add another public meeting.
Okay.
To give people some more opportunity.
I'll put it on the agenda. Okay, it's almost 7:45. Oh, okay. I do have a hand. Miss JF, go ahead.
Hi, good morning. I'm sorry, good evening, everyone. My name is Janet Fry and I work at the Community Resource Center. And I just have a question for you, Jerry. Now that we're asking the community to give us input about the police department, if they decide to give those comments to the committee in Spanish, is your contact the right email that they can send those comments to? Is there a way that the community can't submit comments, suggestions, concerns in their own language to
So they can email me in Spanish and I'll be able to provide those comments to the committee members. They can also provide us the comments or any opinions they have in writing and just drop it off at we have a green mailbox at the entrance to Village Hall at 123 Mamaroneck Avenue. They can just drop them off in there in a sealed envelope with my name on it. And it'll come directly to me. My staff will not open that envelope. And even if it's in Spanish, we will, translate that and get someone. We did have a committee member today, Janet, assist us in offering to volunteering to translate some of the information that we provide and we develop into Spanish language. So we're almost set to be able to do that for the survey that we were talking about.
That's great. Thank you so much. And thank you for all you do.
Thank you. I'll give everyone another minute or two if they want to raise their hand. Okay, so like I said, of course, thank you very much for attending, and thank you to the people who provided comments and their point of view. As I said to Janet just a minute ago, that if you did want to drop off a comment or some kind of an anonymous note that I will share with the board, with the committee, please do so. We have that mailbox at 123 Mamaroneck Avenue, right at the front door. And you can use that. We do lock that when we go home in the evening and on weekends, but it's available 9 to 5 for people to drop off whatever they want. In addition to that, my email is jbaro@vomny.org. And if you can't remember how to spell my last name, I'm on the village website. So with that, I want to thank all the attendees for listening in, and others who have provided their comments, and to Joe and to Neri and to Mayor. I appreciate being on this side of the table. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Jerry.